Hey guys, Matt Luke here through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. And today we're going to talk about RIFTS, Coalition Manhunters. Okay, I'm not going to flip through like I would normally do with a lot of books because, well, I really think that if you just see pages like this, you're not going to pay as much attention. There is a lot of content in this book. So, if you're new to RIFTS is a role-playing game setting that basically encompasses everything magical, psionic, fantasy, science fiction, lack of technology to a degree, even though there is tons of technology, and I'll have to go into it with another video. I can't take too much of that out of here. Now, the coalition states, however, are a part of America, which RIFTS is set in a post-apocalyptic world, our world, with changes of technology and things of that nature. But the coalition states play a fundamental part in the protection of humanity while being led by a probably psychotic supremacist or just someone who's really brilliant. But there's been wars with people that are not human, wars with people that are have to do with too much magic, and the coalition states basically are all about the supremacy of humanity, and anything foreign to humanity is basically evil. So what is the Coalition Manhunters then? Well, let's start with what they are. The Coalition Manhunters are a secret sect of the Coalition States Society that is handpicked by the Emperor Prosek himself. They are all human beings. Well, yeah, the Manhunters in and of themselves are human beings. I would say probably over 95% of them are have some psionics of some sort. Actually, they all do in a way, and we'll get to that in a little bit. They are cold individuals that you wouldn't know by talking to them because of some of their abilities. Savage. They're assassins. I would say that they probably have the motif of the ends justifies the means. Collateral damage is something they would be able to do. Within the coalition states, they are they are heroes of humanity, but since nobody knows who they are, they get no credit. They're also spies, and we'll go over a few other things. Detectives. Oh yeah, detectives. They're hunters of men, hunters of demons, hunters of threats to the society, and they're led. Oh, I said by a highly trained psychic. That's not right. The truth is, these guys are really scary. These guys are the bogeymen of the coalition states. They thrive on people not knowing who they are or what they are. As far as the structure goes, it doesn't really exist within the coalition states government. Even though they're a division of PSYOPs, and PSYOPs is a division where almost everything it deals with everything psionic. The dog boys are there, which are a mutant race. So they're so secretive that they get their orders directly from the Empire, and they answer only. Wait, I said from the Empire, from the Emperor, and they answer only to the Emperor. I have a lot of those. And that's really what the Coalition Manhunters book is all about. It's about the connection between the Manhunters and Emperor Prosek. Now, you don't really get a lot of Emperor Prosek's input in this book, but everything in it on the surface. So if you weren't told that, everything on the surface might seem like still water. But Emperor Prosek is the beast that lurks in the bottom and decides when he's going to cause torment and stuff with these guys. You could look at it and be unsuspecting. And that's really what the Manhunters want. They want you to see them not as a threat. They want you to see you as your next door neighbor. They want you to see them as the child playing football with your children, or the coach teaching your children how to play football. They're everyday people, and you have no idea who they are. So it's very much like the CIA, the KGB of the Cold War, and being a sleeper agent in many ways. So the book is written by Kevin, and then I didn't write down their last names, but Mark and Nick contributed a great deal to the book. Nick Bradshaw and Mark Oberl. Sorry, Mark, if I butchered your name, I probably did. And there's a ton of interior artists. And the art is really, really good. It is what you expect from a Coalition style of book. You know, it's going to be full of things with propaganda. It's going to be full... there is a comic strip at the end of the book. Now, the book is... where is it? Oh, I don't have the price on here. I thought I did. Oh, yeah, it's $26.99. And it's 224 pages for $26.99. It is a paperback. Good quality material. It's just, you know, if you've bought a RIFTS book or a Palladium fantasy book, you know what you're getting. I've got books that are 40 years old and my binding hasn't split on them, so that should tell you something. Inside, from page to page, cover to cover, you're going to get the Manhunters. You're also going to get information on the PSYOPs, some thoughts on the policy of things of that nature. There are several new O.C.Cs in this book. The Manhunter section on the Manhunter O.C.Cs is so in depth that it's actually broken down into like phase 1 and phase 2. If you're a new player, that might be a little undaunting and a little confusing, but I picked up on it right away. The new O.C.Cs, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. There's Dog Boys, but Manhunter specific, or, well, PSYOPs specific. There's the Ops Tech, the Manhunters themselves, and we'll go into more detail on them, a Coalition Psychic. The psychic powers have been revisited in this book to a degree where, oh, and I'll open up to that real quick. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it on my camera. To agree of, there's 51 psionic powers listed in this book. I think it's after, no, it's before. You know, I could use the quick reference table. But one thing they did that I thought was very, very helpful is they listed the new powers and the revised powers in bold print, so that you know if it was expanded. I am not going to go into a ton of detail on the new powers in this review because there's a lot that has been changed. I figure our time will be better served by going over the Coalition Manhunters and their structure and how they play into the Coalition states. So basically, I've already covered it once or twice. These guys don't exist. They're a part of PSYOPs. Sometimes they work in units, sometimes they don't. If they work in a unit, they always back up a step. Every Manhunter has a animal totem assigned to them based off of their skill set or their style, what they represent. And we'll go over those in a minute, but the eagle is a non-psionic human that leads the group, and this is the balance that it anchors them to the world when they may be influenced by, when the psionic characters may be influenced by supernatural powers. The eagle is leader, and they are always the anchor for the group. And I kind of look at this, all the animal totems kind of represent different things, and the first thing that came to my mind was the movie's Mission Impossible, where you have one guy who's really good at hacking, one guy who's really good at stealth stuff. You've got Tom Cruise, who played the Eagle, and you know, you've got one guy that might be an assassin, and then you build your team. always balanced with 1 leader. There is a significant amount of history in the book, and I'm not going to go in depth with it, but they were a major role in the Coalition campaign wars against Tolkien. I think, one of the things this book brought to my mind is, well, gosh, the Coalition War campaign was written years ago. So they're not really in there. Almost everything you're going to get is in here. I mean, I don't remember reading about the Manhunters in there. And that's probably a set of books that's my favorite books in all of RIFTS. And during the major wars, the Coalition War campaign, their main goal was to eliminate things like Cyber Knights, monster squads, shifters, demons, and more. The Manhunter O.C.Cs. There's 9 types. And a lot of these aren't necessarily new O.C.Cs, but they have the Manhunter twist added to them. And we're going to go over, I think it's 4. There's 4 main abilities that every Manhunter O.C.C, it might be 5, I'll correct myself in a second. Every totem has. And then every totem has a little bit of flair to it. The Eagle is the team leader. He leads a team of 4+ Manhunters, or a mixed team that could include things like Dog Boys. Hummingbird, or nicknamed the Zapper, they really kind of focus on a lot of electrical powers. They've got new powers for things like powering electrical devices, reading electrical devices, things of that nature. Your Owl is got the power of precognition. Panthers are mind melters, so we're not going to spend a lot of time there. Ram is a burster. Raven is a psi mechanic or a psi sensitive. Spider is a diviner, which is really kind of a neat new thing. And Viper is a healer, torturer, or I didn't write the third one down, but healer and torturer. Think about that. And the Wolf is the 9th one, and they are a psi slayer. So they basically are, really good at hunting psionic things, beings. Highlights of the Manhunter. And these are all shared throughout all of the 9 totems. Human chameleon. Basically, this isn't like a stealth roll or anything of that nature. It's more like the ability to be unseen. Kind of like the ninja walks among people and is not noticed. Or spies don't want to draw attention to themselves. They want to blend in. That's why they're human chameleons. They are incorruptible. This is really a pretty neat O.C.C ability. It gives you bonuses to resisting persuasion attempts, including torture. Manhunting gives you a slew of role-playing bonuses that, through conversation and role-playing between the GM and the player, is designed to lead the player down the right path to what they're hunting. It's not like you're going to roll this and you're automatically going to discover it. Poker face is basically what it sounds. It's the art of being unreadable when doing things in the field. In other words, you have no tells. And then there's heroic resolve, which again, every Manhunter has. At least that's the way I read it. Which I wanted to talk to Kevin in depth at how heroic resolve, a psychic ability of empathic transmission, goes to the Eagle, who doesn't have any psionic abilities. Anyway, you get bonuses for influencing basically a crowd. Okay. Now, we already have gone over the Eagle, so I'm not going to cover that again. I kind of got carried away. Hummingbird, Master of Electricity, has new powers. Power electric devices. Read electric device. Sense thunderstorm. Affect lightning, spark, and ball lightning. I think most of those are self-explanatory, but if not, guys, I can go into more detail. Just post it in the comments. The Owl has sensory psionic powers. I didn't notice anything new, but I was doing this late at night, so it is possible I missed it. Panther and the Ram are not, well, they are new. The Panther is a mind melter, and I didn't notice anything new or different. But the Burster has new powers, Fire Manifestation, Read Burnt Remains. I think that one is really cool and can be a lot of fun in role-playing. Rekindle Fire, start an old fire basically. Raven, this is kind of neat, and I don't know enough about all the books that have been ever printed to know whether or not these are all new abilities or not. But basically the Raven is all about anti-magic and extreme intel. They can recognize magic items and things of that nature, and that's their specialty. They're kind of like, I don't want to say Lara Croft, but I mean, they're not Gandalf because they don't like cast spells, but they have a tremendous amount of knowledge and ability to track things of that nature. The Spider is psionic power of divining, and this is a unique ability in the RIFTS game world to the Spider only. Basically, the Spider can use their psionic powers to read energies. This is a true sensing or a true reading of the power. It's not like they're genuinely reading it. They're not like predicting it. They're not making a lot of rolls to do it. And there is a lot of detail on divining in here, and I think I go into it a little bit more on the next page of notes. If not, I'll open up the book before we close and give you my final thoughts. The Viper is the healer, interrogator, and torturer. They have a wide range of psionic abilities to support this. They probably have the broadest base for psionics out of all the Manhunters. And the Wolf is the Psi Slayer, and they get bonuses based off of things like the skill packages they pick for hunting demons. Now, I don't go into it. So I'm going to look into divining real quick. Spider O.C.C is way back here. Oh, it's not that far. Manhunter Stats Part 2. Okay, so divining. Come on. Wolf, Viper, Spider. Okay. So, divining, usually like the way we would understand it, people would divine water. They would use a wise-shaped stick and walk around the yard and use a divining rod to find things. That's a traditional method in, I don't know if you would call it folklore. A lot of people believe it works. Some people say it works. I've never seen it, so I don't know. So the Spider has a rare power to do things like base skill for each energy can sense earthquake, fault lines, buildings, tectonic pressure, electromagnetic energy highways, geothermal underground energy, tellus energy, ley lines, nexus points, ley line triangles, and places of magic or spiritual power. Water, underground. They can sense flowing rivers and things. Now, the Spider is able to locate any of the 5 primal earth energies underground Earth. And that is where all these go. So a failed roll means the psychic cannot locate the source. A successful roll has the divining rod or pendulum pointing the way of the nearest type of desired earth energy within 5 miles. That's how that works. Now, okay, what I was getting at before is, so spiders do not channel energy in the same way as a practitioner of magic and cannot cast spells. Instead, they draw and channel energy to locate and read it. So it's a true power of reading. There's a ton of great role-playing options there. So the strengths of the book. There is a ton of great new content. This book is packed full of content. When Kevin gave this to me to review, I wasn't thankful enough, and it blew my mind. So, the fluff, which it is pretty fluff heavy. There's a lot of fluff in this book, and if you want something that has like the psionics and stuff, that's the newest and most up to date, this is it. There is a crazy amount of O.C.Cs. There's 9 just for the Manhunters. There's 2 more for PsyOps, and I think there was 3 more Dog Boys. Weakness. What I was a little bit surprised with in the book is there wasn't a lot of new equipment, and I kind of anticipated these guys getting a little bit of new equipment. But then again, it is the Coalition, and they don't need to have a ton of new stuff every time a book comes out, I guess, because so much of it is already published. Yeah, I already mentioned, I kind of think that the Manhunter O.C.C. being split into 2 parts will help most veteran players of RIFTS, but I think it may confuse newer players, and they might need some help and have some questions. Overall, I think this book is really phenomenal, guys. I am a huge fan of the Coalition, though. I've said that many times already. One thing it did for me more than the O.C.Cs and everything else was it opened my doors a lot more to understanding some of the character of Prozac, because he picks these guys in secret from a very, very young age. And when I say young, I'm guessing 5 and 6. So how does the Emperor pick soldiers at the age of 5 and 6 to start training them and only answer to him? What kind of a being is he? Who is this book for? This book is for anyone who wants to play a Manhunter, wants the revised psionic powers and abilities, and it's worth it for that. Who wants a little bit more info on Prozac or a deeper understanding, and when I say deeper, I mean deep. You can't read this book on the surface and just be like, oh, okay. You have to think about it a little bit and be like, wow. And I think this is just the beginning of where Kevin is going with the Emperor. For game masters, you will be able to create an endless amount of campaigns for the Manhunters. It doesn't have a lot of monsters or anything like that in it, but you can create tons and tons of NPCs. You could create an entire campaign for your characters that is set in the Coalition War campaign. And you will be able to explore a different side of the Coalition where they don't have to follow the same set of rules, basically. A Manhunter is all about a super secret, non-existent group of humans that basically answer only to the Emperor, who he selected and then he selected single-handedly with a ton of new and revised psionics, the new O.C.Cs, of course, and the Manhunter. I think this is probably one of the most impactful books, if not the most impactful book for the Coalition War series, and quite possibly one of the... I think for the Coalition States, this is probably book 2 or 3. I think I have to go with the World book as being number 1. And I think Coalition War Campaign book 1 might be above this for me. But after that, I think this is the next book. And it really did open my eyes to how deep the society is. And maybe it's just maturity on my part, because when I started playing the RIFTS Coalition Campaign book, or the World book, I don't think I was 16 yet. So, Manhunters, secret, psychic society that's an army, hand-selected for whatever the Emperor wants them to do. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hi guys! Meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know. You're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.